All right, everybody, let's gather around for today's safety meeting. John, go ahead and hand those out for me, please. Today's topic is going to be anger. Hey, have you ever experienced a feeling like this when you're driving down the freeway, maybe on your way home from work, and some guy's driving erratically, cutting in and out of traffic, cutting off you and cutting off others, and just nearly causing accidents with you and everyone around you? And in that moment, maybe you get afraid for yourself, afraid for your loved ones in the car, or maybe you're afraid for the people around you. Immediately you start to feel your skin getting hot, maybe you begin to sweat, your heart starts racing, your breathing quickens. These are all sensations that we experience as anger, a perfectly natural response to a situation in which we perceive danger. Most of the time we can let these feelings pass and we go along with our day, but sometimes we let that anger control us and we can flash and we can rage, often doing things that we later regret. The first key to trying to manage the anger is to understand why we experience these things in our body and what the symptoms are that we're feeling. Anger triggers the body's fight or flight response, and some other emotions that trigger this response are fear, excitement, and anxiety. So the adrenal glands in our brain, they flood the body with stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. The brain pushes blood away from your central core into your muscles and your extremities in preparation for physical exertion. Your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your respiration increase, your body temperature rises, and your skin perspires. And the mind starts to sharpen and focus so that we can either fight the danger or escape the danger. Once we recognize these things in ourselves, we need to learn how to control them. So now we'll start to talk about some healthy ways to deal with anger. Some ways you can deal with it would be to take a break, take a breath, do something physical, recognize the feeling in your body, or just talk to someone. I used to be a very angry person, and I now use a combination of all of these things to process and manage my anger. I spent years in therapy learning how to recognize the symptoms and signs in my body, learning how to use breathing techniques, or just simply learning when to walk away and save the fight for another day. Nowadays, I exercise regularly, and this helps maintain healthy stress hormones and stress levels in my body so that I can overall improve my mood and be a much happier person. So it's also beneficial for us to recognize unhealthy ways to process our anger. These would be things like anger explosions, anger repression, or anger avoidance. I used to have road rage really bad, and on my commute home, I would let these other drivers that were driving crazily really get under my skin. My blood would start to boil, and then I would start chasing them down and driving erratically myself, thinking I had to teach them a lesson. Ultimately, all that did was just make me more angry, and then I would get home to my family and be in a horrible mood. Learning how to manage our emotions, especially anger, is paramount to your happiness and the happiness of those around you. You want to set the example for your friends and your family and your coworkers, and most importantly, your children. Be the best version of yourself for the people you care about the most. There are many ways for you to get help if controlling your anger is a problem, and below I've included many resources for you to use.